British racing cars, with British drivers at the wheel, are today supreme in the world of big-time car racing. No longer do the crowds look in the middle of the field for the racing green of Britain. They look way out in front. And in the paddock before the race begins, it's the British cars, Van Walls, Coopers, BRMs, Aston Martins, which draw the fans to watch the mechanics checking, tinkering to the last moment. A good mechanic is never really satisfied. A good car builder is never really satisfied. The new supremacy of British racing car design lies in the staying power and the persistence of British constructors. In spite of his recent bad luck, Stirling Moss, here checking his BRM, is still considered by many as the fastest of all Grand Prix drivers. And Tony Brooks, in a Van Wall here, has won almost every big European prize. But Australia and New Zealand are now producing world-class drivers, and the newest star racing for Britain is Australia's Jack Brabham, with a brilliant list of recent successes and the promise of more to come. Brabham's rise to stardom is as sensational as the rise of the little car he drives, the Cooper, a relatively low-powered British car with the behaviour of a thoroughbred. In only its second full year of international racing, the Cooper is suddenly leading the world in the trophies it snatched throughout Europe, the States and down under. And clocking Jack Brabham as he drives is the man who helped to make her, John Cooper. The first Cooper racing car came off the drawing board just after the war. John designed it with his father and drove it in small car races, 500cc events. Soon it was making a brilliant name for itself. Today, in their Surbiton factory, the Cooper organization has just turned out its 1000th racing car and is dealing with probably the fattest order list from all over the world of any racing manufacturer. Here's Brabham, Cooper's top driver, coming in from a test run. They talk the same language. Brabham is a top mechanic, a quality quite rare among racing stars. The Cooper recipe: put the engine in the rear, concentrate on suspension, handling ability rather than all-out power. But where does Britain find her racing stars? Many begin as amateurs, driving in sports car rallies, hill climbs, club events, and then going on to buy, hire, share, or build their own racing car. Here is Jeff Warner, a lad with his eye on stardom, getting ready to start off on a practice run. Another Cooper contribution to British car racing is the school for would-be racing drivers, which they've started at Brands Hatch in Kent. There, instructors lead the beginners round the track under the eyes of judges in the stands. With the instructor as pacemaker, the first test is 12 laps of the twisting hilly circuit at Brands Hatch. Chief instructor at this school for future racing stars is Ian Burgess, a well-known British driver who divides his time between racing for an Italian team and lecturing classes on the theory and practice of race driving. Girls are numerous among the pupils. Margaret Ellsworth Jones of London is one of them, all ears as Burgess explains the controls and sees her off on her first run. Right from the start, testing of beginners is pretty searching. It has to be. Those who still show promise, as the pacing is speeded up, are singled out for more advanced training, more severe tests, this time at the school's expense. Only about one pupil in 75 gets right through the next solo stage of schooling and sets foot on the first rung of the professional racing ladder, driving Cooper cars with the firm's backing in his first junior formula events. Till now, Margaret's only taste of speed has been in the 2.4 she borrows from Mother, who she says is rather horrified at the idea of her racing. But it's a long haul to this, the British Grand Prix at Aintree, and they're off. Right from the start, it's the Australian Brabham, number 12, who streaks to the front. And Betty Brabham, a true racing wife, clocks his sizzling lap times from the pit counter as he streaks past the stands. Even over 2 hours of all-out driving, the place is so hot and the running so close that a driver forced to a pit stop can see his chances vanish in the seconds it takes to refuel. So it is with Harry Shell, zooming off in a desperate try to catch the leaders again. And they are Brabham still, with Stirling Moss only seconds away, cracking lap records to catch him. A pit mechanic flashes the news of the going. Lap 53, 22 to go. And oh dear, here's Moss stopping, a wheel change that treads right off his tyres. And now they're flashing Brabham bad news about his tyres. And here's where tactics and judgment decide it all. If Brabham stops, Moss will pass him and may keep his lead. So Brabham ignores his pit and fights to stay ahead on worn-out tyres, with Moss gaining on him every time round. But as Betty Brabham watches the last lap round, her husband's still ahead. He's held off Moss to win. There's the flag as he streaks across the finish. And here's Moss, not the luckiest, seconds behind. And first to reach the winner is a young man with a big dream, maybe, of coming in first himself one day and having the world fall round his neck, just like this. And having a drink and a kiss from his very best girl, just like this.